There are certain things that came out of lockdown that we were forced to create because of the situation we were in, but it must be said that like the large majority of what we wrote before lockdown. That was really born out of rehearsal rooms, bedrooms, and we weren't thinking at the time of writing the songs like this about spaces, and like, you know, it just happened that way.
White neon lights on the hillside. Mosquito nets, they cover the buildings on concrete.
People who start venues and give spaces to musicians and artists and let them contribute in a way that, you know, builds the community as like the heroes of like our times at the moment.
We wanted to go a little bit off the beaten track as well and bring our new music to areas of the UK that don't usually get the kind of usual circuit of bands coming round, which led us to kind of be routing quite a rural tour. It is nice to be able to kind of be supporting these really small venues and making sure that people, you know, start to find out about them through various means.
When we started out as a band, we were playing in a small venue, sat down audiences where no one knew our songs, and we were kind of making it up a little bit. Like, we had vague ideas for songs and we just bashed through it, and it was really, really enjoyable. The biggest part of this tour for me has really been reconnecting with how we started making music, like all those many years ago.
I don't think we'd be comfortable just playing the same 10 songs every show. I think we like to challenge ourselves. We like to play songs that aren't written yet or don't have lyrics, but it's kind of fun.
I think sometimes we think about lyrics in the same way that we think about all of our instruments. Lots of it comes from kind of spontaneous moments. You don't always think about why you're playing a certain riff or a certain phrase. It just kind of comes out, and then you either hate it or you like it and stick with it.
That was always the way in which our music became finalised from the live show, and like obviously any music we've been writing since Bright Green Field hasn't had any of that feedback, so like it felt like this was a necessity.
Ollie knows this pub from when he was a baby, because we always just come up here. It's a good pub, local pub, good arts, music, poetry, you name it, we got it.
Squid needed somewhere to rehearse during the lockdown months and write their album, so of course it was a no-brainer for me. It was nice to have some creativity going on, you know, when there was not a lot else going on. And every single day, you know, there was beautiful sunshine, I was in my garden and I was listening to them write beautiful music, so it was great.
There are people inside, and they're changing and shaping in size. Where you going? Don't want to go there, but you comb your hair and you tense the muscle.
Patient in control. Dig holes like a mole.
We're getting better at communicating that side of improvisation when it comes to stuff that you want to treat quite tenderly in a live environment. You run the risk of, when performing these new songs for the first few times, using the nervous energy to kind of preserve what structure you so far have.
I think the process of songwriting is still pretty similar in that we only have small ideas and then we kind of develop them all together. There's no fixed kind of process about how things go from A to B. If B is the finished track, it's just letting things happen and letting each other experiment where we need to.
As a big music fan, there's nothing more exciting for me than going to a small independent, community-driven hub like this and seeing a band that are doing so well nationally. I think it's exciting for everyone, and I really love that they're doing that, and not just here but throughout the whole tour. They'll try and push the boundaries of what new bands can be doing. You know, they're really creative people, and I don't think they're going to succumb to, you know, doing what the masses necessarily want them to do, and I think they'll do well from that.
I'm incredibly proud of not just Ollie and Squid, but places like this that nurture. Here's where it's made, proper original music.